Okay, so the unit is out of the pan, and I'm going to tear it apart. I'm going to remove this crossover tube, which I already loosened up a little bit because I needed to make sure everything was going to come apart okay. If it didn't work out okay, I would have fixed it and showed you, but it's going to be okay. And again, this is an old unit. This is something serious. You know, no vents, so I'm not even sure if there's a fan. You know, years ago, the very first compressors, the first ones, the Dash 4. Remember, half of this is a Dash 4. The Dash 4 didn't have any vents either. It didn't have a fan. Now the thing about that is, the airline says that, you know, you need the fan for cooling down nowadays, but back then they didn't. They did not put fans in, and so cooling down wasn't a thing. But when that Dash 4 that I worked on, when I pulled the cover off, there was not one trace of salt in it. Now, all the ones I've worked on in the, 14 years I worked for the airline, all of them had salt deposits inside because the salt water gets in through the vents. That's just how it is. I don't, make the rules. I just work on them. See, here you go. No fan, not one fan, but look at it. Look at this. There's no corrosion in there. There's like none. There's none. So that's going to prove my theory about the vents, the side covers. I may just put this back together. I'll talk to the owner, or I may go ahead and drill some holes and put a fan in there. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. But this is very interesting, because that just shows you that the airline did not use fans when they were new back then in 2000. And you can see the salt. No salt deposit. So you work on them now and you pull them off with the vented covers, and there's always salt deposits. I have so many pictures of heavily covered valve plates and heads from the salt deposits. It's just crazy. It's nuts. But again, you know, that's just how they did their things. I mean, I don't think they knew at the time that they had something that was really good, because they were still new. And Joe's not he was never like a mechanic or anything like that. He was just not. So, okay, so, and this is the other thing that the airline didn't do. They didn't use powder coat, and they used plastic retainers. Plastic retain. Look at that. There's not one dab of salt water in here. None. This is 22 years old, this unit. There's none. I don't know if you can see that. Look, zero. No salt deposit. So I'm going to pull the other side off. The connecting rod feels okay. That was the only concern I had. Even though it's no big deal, you can still get connecting rods. Don't let nobody tell you that you cannot get connecting rods for these. You absolutely can. You just have to get with me and I'll point you in the right direction. But yeah, this is just like this Dash 4 I worked on, the single head. No fan, no vented covers, no salt deposit, and it's clear. The person that owns this is telling me that this is the first time that this has been worked on since he's bought it, and he saw me on Facebook and decided to give me a holler, and I sat there and talked to him for about an hour, and we went over stuff and had a good old time. Now here, there's some salt here, but see, this came in through the air intake. This is the side, the left side. This is your air intake. So this side, yes, it's coming in, and yeah, there is some salt deposit. The connecting rod, though, they feel good. Now I'm going to pull the connecting rods out and check them really good. I mean, but this, I don't feel anything don't feel anything in there, so to make me think that, but I'll know better once I get it apart. So, okay, so this will be the end for now, and then I'll get back to you when I clean up.